From the farmers and ranchers of Farm Bureau, this is Farm Weekend. A recent Supreme Court decision gave U.S. agriculture a big win. Chad Smith has the details.
The Supreme Court struck down Chevron Deference, which is good news for American farmers and ranchers. Travis Cushman, Deputy General Counsel for the American Farm Bureau Federation, says the most important takeaway from the case is a restored balance of power at the federal level.
The key is that agencies will no longer be able to say how much power they have. What previously happened is courts would defer to agencies for an agency's interpretation of its power. And after this decision, courts will now be the ones to decide that, not agencies themselves.
He says this decision sets a new legal precedent for a broad swath of government agency regulations.
So many regulations that we believe that whether it's USDA, EPA, labor, push the bounds of what Congress intended. And this will force those agencies to really evaluate how much authority they have to regulate and allow us to challenge them when they've gone too far.
Cushman says AFBF has been involved in this case for many years.
In this case, we led an industry coalition on this. We filed a brief that looked a whole lot like the court's final decision. The court more or less did everything we said they should do, the same reasons we said they should.
For more information on the decision, go to fb.org/news. Chad Smith, Washington.
Vote FBF Senate and House endorsements. More on that when Farm Weekend returns.
Frustrated with your current healthcare coverage? Kansans are saving up to 60% a month with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. Choose from individual and family plans, short-term coverage, or dental and vision plans. It's quality coverage you can afford. Learn more and get a free quote by visiting kfbhealthplans.com or visiting a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Kansas Farm Bureau's VOTE FBF Political Action Committee announced its endorsements for Kansas Senate and House elections. VOTE FBF has endorsed and supported candidates who support Kansas Farm Bureau policy and understand the needs of Kansas agriculture. The VOTE FBF board also values the recommendation of members across the state based on their personal interactions with the candidates. In federal races, VOTE FBF previously endorsed the re-election of Representatives Tracy Mann of District 1 and Ron Estes of District 4. It has also endorsed Derek Schmidt for Kansas's 2nd district race. The USDA designated Clark, Meade, and Seward counties as natural disaster areas for drought. This secretarial natural disaster designation allows the USDA's Farm Service Agency to extend much-needed emergency credit to producers recovering from natural disasters through emergency loans. Join us for an evening of fun and appreciation at the Dodge City Roundup. Farm Bureau members, you're invited to a free tailgate party on August 1st at 6:15 p.m. Let's celebrate you with great food, exciting company, and a thrilling atmosphere. RSVP by July 25th, and don't miss this chance to connect with fellow members and enjoy a special night out. Next, Insight with Glenn Brunkow.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, just as you do ride-alongs to inspect your fields and cattle, make sure you do the same for your mental well-being. Take time to check in with yourself and your neighbors, and if you find yourself in a crisis, remember, there's immediate help available at 988. Mental health is just as vital as the health of your farm. Let's prioritize it together. This message brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau and Kansas Farmers Union.
Now, Insight with Glenn Brunkow.
Farmers and ranchers in Kansas are amazing people. We are hardworking and all too humble. And the work we do is something our fellow humans literally cannot live without. We grow food. I say all of this because my colleagues will not. I know they are too busy working long hours doing their jobs. I'm going to say it rather than wait for someone else to acknowledge all of our good work. Just look at the last 5 years. We've survived some of the worst weather and drought in recorded history, a pandemic, supply chain disruptions, increased costs for everything, and high interest rates. And we're still here. Our jobs will get even harder in the upcoming years because we will need to produce even more food, and we will also be asked to do this with less land, all while improving the natural resources with which we are entrusted. I have no doubt we will rise to the challenge. Farmers and ranchers have stepped up and met every challenge thrown our way. It's not bragging, it's pride. So during this busy season, take a minute to appreciate all that we have accomplished on our farms and ranches. We rightfully are and should be proud of what we do. And in their own way, I know a hungry world recognizes this too.
Join us next weekend for another edition of Farm Weekend from the Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture.